Hey, Brian.
Hey, Sherry.
I'm trying to figure out how to share darksky.org through Zoom, just so we can talk about that and how we want to compile our presentation. So I think I have to go in through Zoom.
Okay, you've got to join and then somehow share. I don't know how to do the sharing.
Yeah, I haven't done this in 5 years, so I may just say we're going to be looking at darksky.org, and then everybody knows what we're looking at. Let's see. Dennis is coming. Ooh, I have to mute myself. There, is that better? Okay, so let's see how you share. Share screen. There we go. That wasn't very great. Can you see that, Dennis or Brian?
Yep, I do.
Okay. Well, Dennis is coming, but I don't think Mike is. So we can't vote on anything until Dennis gets here, but he said he was coming. So I'd like to welcome everyone to our dark sky meeting. It's Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. Do we have any public comment? No public comment. We will skip the approval of the minutes and go right into dark sky. What I was thinking that I emailed to everybody was what's on the screen, the darksky.org. And it talks about how certification works, eligibility requirements. The one that I looked at that I think would suit us is communities. And it gives you everything there to be eligible. We have a lighting policy that we want to adopt, and as far as a new ordinance goes, but I think we need to add something to it relative to sports courts. When the city council approved sports courts at their last meeting, there was nothing in it about lighting. And I did raise the question about it, and Wayne said, well, they just have to follow the lighting ordinance that we currently have. And right now that's a 75-watt bulb. And I would venture a guess that is not what's going into sport courts lighting. I think it's much more than that. So maybe, how do you feel about putting something regarding sports court lighting into the lighting ordinance?
I think that's the appropriate place to put it if you're asking me.
Well, yep, I want everybody's opinion. Are you on?
About individual homes that are lighting or have sports courts.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
You on?
it shows I'm on.
Yeah, you need to be close.
Okay, close light. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. I can hear you great now. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I just asked a question if that was individual homes, sports courts.
Yes,
Yeah, because we're not having lighting up at the park.
correct.
Okay.
There is a section in darksky.org pertaining to sports court lighting and what the illumination should be or could be. I mean, I think basically everything that we need to make a presentation to the city is in this website. And I'm thinking that we just use this, like it's coming up on the screen now, to talk about why dark sky, why do we want to be certified. We will already have the lighting ordinance that night to go before the council, not necessarily to vote on, but just to discuss because of the objection that Wayne has to putting requirements in the building code. Is that the right word, Brian?
That's correct. Yep.
To put in the building code for new homeowners to present a lighting plan when they get their permit. That would be a way of, quote, enforcing the ordinance. But Wayne doesn't think that we can do that based on the state code, and it may require a legal opinion. Because I have a couple of opinions that say it doesn't apply, and Wayne and I have talked about this, and it may require a legal opinion. Let's see. Do we want to do this presentation in terms of, let's see, there's 5 reasons or 5 principles for dark sky, and they actually have videos attached to them that we could show. It talks about what the requirements are. It gives a sample lighting management plan, guidelines for outdoor lighting, what the application process is. We could get approved in as short a time as 90 days, but it might take longer from what I've read. So what I'm thinking is if we could all present this, Dennis and Mike and Michelle and myself, and Brian, even if you wanted to take an area, on the 5 principles responsible for outdoor lighting. Let's see if I can find those in the website. This is a great website, by the way. That's how certification works.
While you're looking for that, I just read recently that Utah has the most dark sky national parks in the country.
Oh, wow. Well, I think it would be nice, and I think we've agreed as a committee to be certified. It does have in here what certification does for you. I mean, yeah, we get a little sign to put up. I guess we could put it next to our, what's the fire one, Brian, that's kind of down by the mailboxes as you enter the city? There's some,
The one that says fire danger level.
no, well, it's near there. It says Woodland Hills is a fire approved city or
Oh, fire. I think it's fire safe.
fire safe. Yeah. To go after the same, type of certification where we get the little sign, we can use their logo once we are certified on our letterhead if we wanted to. I mean, we can talk about the reasons why. Oh,
I
frequently.
think that's gonna be important because, well, there's a few things that I believe that are important. The questions that I've talked to council people about,
Okay.
um, are one, why do we want to do it? We don't have any tourism, which is really the big draw for a dark sky community is one of the big things. Um, and can't we develop policies without getting certified? And what would that, like Elkridge is doing? Um, and one of the big ones that I keep getting, even though it was stated that there are no repercussions for violations, is we need that to be clear that once we're certified, would we get monetary violations if we didn't meet standards after that certification?
Okay. Um, to be eligible, criteria, we have to have a lighting policy. Well, we have that. And it talks about having here we go, night sky quality. The community will still participate in monitoring night sky quality. In talking with Daniel at Sunrise, Jensen, UVU has a program pertaining to the night sky where they have the equipment where you can monitor light emitted, and they're willing to do that for us. We wouldn't have to do anything. Possibly there could be an objection to retrofitting all publicly. Well, that's publicly owned lighting within 5 years. That would just be the city, wouldn't it? Publicly. What's underlined there on the screen?
Sorry, I was muted when I drink. My stomach makes noise now. So yes, that would be the city properties. And I believe, based on what I've read, everything that we have is actually um, meets the standards.
Well, perhaps it does. The fact that
We
it's
need
on,
to check the lumens, but I honestly think that we're within standards.
well, I think we are too, or they wouldn't have been put in. My suggestion to the city has been that they go on timers because part of these 5 principles of responsible outdoor lighting is determine what you want to light. That's one of them. And another one is that they be on timers where they would be on for 5 minutes once they got activated, and then they would go off. That's what Dark Sky suggests. And that lights should be, could be, hopefully would be turned off after 10:30, which is in keeping with our uh, peace ordinance, disturbing the peace ordinance. We've already presented opportunities to learn and engage with the night sky as far as at Woodland Hills Days and Maple Fest, we've had booths about dark sky. So we are educating our community about it. And I don't know, hopefully maybe that's one of the reasons that it was so favorable on the community survey. I don't know, but that would be nice to think that we had a good educational opportunity for people. So the no violations, what else did you say, Brian, that you felt was important?
Um,
Wha-
why we want to, what is the the big draw for actually becoming certified and not just doing it without certification?
Okay. Is that what Elk Ridge is doing? Is that what you said?
Correct. That's what we were told Elkridge is doing. I haven't actually looked into that, but the understanding is that they're writing ordinances that are dark sky like, but they're not trying for certification.
They're not.
That's
Is
what
that
I was told.
okay?
Um, well, here it talks about the eligibility requirements. I'll contact somebody over at Elk Ridge. I know the trails person, councilwoman, maybe she's doing the same thing with dark sky. I don't know, but I'll find out. Talks about 5 categories under certification. It's a conservation approach. Building environments. It talks about the um, effects that lighting has on nature.
Mhm.
I mean, everything that we need is in here.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Um, so, how long of a presentation, Brian, do you think we can have?
So I think we could start out kind of expecting about 30 minutes. But I believe it would, with questions and answers, if that the council will have and the public will have, that it would probably go longer than that.
Okay, so basically, we're going to have to know this website in and out to be able to answer questions.
Mhm.
Like right now, I'm trying to find the 5 principles of dark sky, and it does address why dark sky.
Okay, that's under resources. The 5 principles: the useful, targeted, low level, controlled, warm colored.
Yes.
Yes.
What was that under?
Let's see.
Resources?
Resources, guides, and how to's. Let's see. Yeah, it's under global standards and partnership. And then it's
Is it under frequently asked questions?
let's see, what's this?
No.
No. 5 principles, there it is right there, but let's see what's at the top of it. Advancing responsible for outdoor lighting, what we do. Responsible outdoor lighting, and then it goes down to view dark sky templates and the 5 principles for outdoor lighting, and then it's highlighted there and you can push on that. I know you have to kind of learn this website here a little bit.
Okay, I see the resources. The videos are not long. I looked at 3 of them today. I think they're like a minute, 26 seconds or something. They're not long videos. It just gives you an idea. Night sky quality resources. So I've got to become more familiar with this. I did look at the creating codes and templates, the 5 principles, the videos showing targeted lighting. We need, when I say we, the citizens of Woodland Hills, I think need a little help with what do they want to light. The only light that can go upwards, according to our ordinance now, is to light a flag. And there's a couple places that I know of when I drive by. I have to shield my eyes because I can't see the road. I almost hit a deer once. because the lights are so bright and it isn't shielded. It's just shining right in my eyes.
There's free downloads on this,
Yes.
and distribute the 5 principles in unmodified form. So they've got these where you could get it printed off with that. Um, we could hand those out,
Okay.
something like that.
Brian, you have any suggestions?
Now is what's his name from Sunrise?
Daniel.
Daniel, is he going to be able to be there? Because he would be a great resource for asking questions and answering.
I did talk with him about that like a month or so ago when he presented the ordinance that we currently have as a revision to the Dark Sky Board. I'm trying to remember. I think it was he felt it would be a conflict of interest. I think that was his reason, but he would get someone from the Dark Sky Board to be here.
Okay, so I would schedule that for the was it the 13th, I believe, is when
Yes.
we set up on the calendar.
Okay.
Is that May 13th?
Yes.
So how about Sherry, you and I getting together,
Okay.
and maybe with Dennis, and we divide this up
Okay.
into the sections that we think we could make presentations at that? Would that be helpful?
I like that. Yeah.
Um,
And I apologize, but I don't think that it's appropriate for me to present. I mean, I'll bring things up, and what I'm going to see is my job is kind of directing thought processes, talking about maybe having legal look over the our legal or our lawyers look over the ordinance to see if there's any conflicts, that kind of thing. I can support that way, but I don't feel it's appropriate for me to actually present to this.
Now,
Oh.
speaking to that, Brian, Sherry, do we need to present? Because didn't we already do that at one committee meeting or one city meeting? What more did they want from this
So
committee?
I came to Sherry, and I am recommending that we have a in our work session at City Council that we have a discussion on dark skies, and so I proposed that. And so we, Sherry seems to be running into some struggles with the lighting ordinance, and you know, if somebody is the chair of a committee or commission, and they don't agree with something, they can pretty easily shut it down. The only way to get around that, and where I see my support going, is to get, if the city council's on board, which we've gotten a lot of survey results saying that the citizens are wanting this, or the residents, sorry. Ben always gets mad at me when I say citizens. The residents are very interested in this, and the only way to get around a chair committee or a chair of a commission is for the city council to be on board, and if they make that decision as a whole council, and give direction to that committee or commission to say, we want this, and if they disagree with it, we have the ability to say, okay, we'll have the lawyers look at it. If there's two conflicting views and we can't make that decision, we can have the lawyers look at it and make sure it's legal. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is actually get some grip here for the committee, because you guys have been working on this. I read Michael's email. He doesn't you know, he's not necessarily for this being as part of this committee. But you guys have chosen this, and it's a, a democracy republic. Um, and so we're going to move forward. And if the council and I, as a council person, saw what the residents said during the survey, and so I am interested in doing what the residents would like. And so I want to give you guys some grip in this, and the way that I can is to get the council um to listen. And if the council as a whole decides that this is the direction that we do want to go, which I do believe that they do, um, then we can use our power as the legislative body to actually move this forward. I don't want Sherry and Dennis flapping out in the wind here and they're not getting any help. So that's what I'm trying to do with this whole thing.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
greatly
Yeah,
appreciated.
that sums it up good. So what then, Sherry, do you think is the best way for us to convince whoever we need to that this is good for the city?
Well, I think
Making this
using
pre-
Brian's approach to
Uh-huh.
make the presentation to
Uh-huh.
the city council, I think we presented basic information a long time ago when we got approval to go ahead and see what all was involved in this
Mhm.
process. It does require,
So was that what the approval was given to us, was to go investigate?
yes,
And now we're investigating, and now we're going to present what Dark Sky actually is, and all the things it involves on it.
And I think using your idea, Michelle, of you, Dennis, and I'd like to involve Mike as well, to go through this darksky.org website and pull out information that's relative to why, how, as far as violations or certification, if we want to move in that direction. I think it would be to certify as a community. We're definitely not a reserve or public lands. And I think the council seeing, and also the residents seeing, that it's coming from darksky.org, this information, not coming from
Right.
PTR committee, lends a lot of weight.
Okay. And so using these guidelines is how cities have convinced or, you know, persuaded, informed, their city councils. That's how they've informed them, is through this. And so the presentation of this darksky.org is what we could do by dividing that up, and maybe.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea, Brian.
I think it's a great idea. And then we'll be ready if you can get someone from the committee. Again, I don't feel it's a conflict of interest, but if he does, I understand that. But if we can get someone for the committee that can actually answer those questions quickly, I think that will help as well. But just so you know, we've already gotten a letter. The whole council and mayor got a letter about supporting Dark Skies from one of the residents.
Favorable letter or non-favorable?
Favorable, wanting us to support it.
Oh, nice. What do you think of the idea of having someone, I'll have to get the contact information again from Daniel, from UVU? In reading through the website, there is something about that if we are certified, to be certified, we have to have 2 sky events a year.
Yes, I read that as well. And if UVUs, I think that would be great. You could get some of their students up here. And if we do decide to go forward, that's they do we call it senior design and engineering, but they have, capstone projects. And that might be something that you could actually utilize from the university and get free help in doing that.
Yeah, Daniel says that is available. So if we have UVU, Dark Sky, and PTR presenting, I think
Yeah.
that's fabulous.
That would be, I think that would be very, very good.
Okay.
And will get us where we need to go. Again, I
Okay.
want you to get the information out to the council so that we can drive direction, and that'll be my job, is to make sure that once we get that, once you guys are able to get the council on board, then my job will be to make sure that those things happen.
Okay. That's great, Brian. Thank you so much for all your help.
I'm doing my best. I know
Well,
PTR was not the thing I wanted to do because I'm not really big into trails and parks and fluffy things. I'm an engineer. I like things square. But I'm trying to give you guys the support that you deserve. You guys put in a lot of effort.
well, thank you. I did get in the way of other business, so we'll proceed with our presentation the way we've outlined it. PTR, UVU, and Dark Sky Board representation.
Perfect.
As far as other business, I did get a text today from Jeremy Searle. I reached out to Jeremy. Was that on your asking, Brian? I'm not sure.
Nope.
There's a grant that the city got regarding trails. It seems to me we have more than one now. I'm not sure. But anyway, Jeremy is heading up that grant. We already have it apparently. And I told him that I now have possession of the map of the city that Janet and I did, showing easements and where the property that the city owns is. And he would like to be a part of our PTR meeting on the 21st or 20th of May, whenever our next meeting is in May.
Perfect.
It's kind
So
of a,
that would have been from Ted. So Ted worked on that grant I believe before he was hired directly by the city, when he was working for Jones Jones and the Mill. So he'd been working on that for a long time. And yes, so they're doing a trail survey that's funded. I believe it's a MAG survey. It's either
yeah.
MAG or UTA, I can't remember which. And so he's worked on that for quite a long time to try to get that. And this is a way for us to, once this part's done, the city can then apply for more of those UTA and MAG grants, because we have the technical, if there's something they can identify, which is hard to believe with the way our city's laid out, but if they can, then it kind of sets us up really well for those grants from other organizations. There's a lot of money going into trails throughout the state of Utah. So yeah, Ted had worked on this a while ago, and so we do have that, and they're working it. So that's fantastic that he got in touch with you.
And I'm sure he'll present, I think it was Romney that went before the state legislature to, there's a bunch of money for Bonneville Shoreline and connecting to that. So I'm sure Jeremy knows all about it to
Yes,
present.
he's
So
an
I just
expert.
wanted to let everybody know that.
Great. That would be great.
Okay, so our next meeting,
On May 20th, I think. Is it the third Tuesday?
yes, May 20th. Yep.
But May 13th is the next. Is that the meeting? Are we on that agenda?
City council, yes. That'll be at 6 o'clock.
Okay. I'm flying in town that
On the
day.
20th?
on the 13th, but I should be back earlier in the day.
Well, I will come in on Zoom because I have two graduations that day.
Okay.
for grandchildren.
Will
And
you
one
be-
of them is in Denver, so I need to get there on the night
Yeah.
of the 20th for the 21st. But I'll come in on Zoom.
Okay.
Which would be, you might, if you come in on Zoom, Sherry, are you gonna have a laptop with you or just on your phone?
I could take my laptop to Denver.
Well, it's up to you. If you do, then you could actually have the presentation so that you can pull it up. It'll be a lot better on the computer
Oh, for the 13th. No, I'll be
for the
here.
15th.
This
Oh,
is
you'll
the,
be here. Okay, perfect.
yeah. Anything else other than thank you very much for coming to our meeting?
No, and after meeting, we can find a time to get together.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Alright.
Brian. I make
Okay.
a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, I second it.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you very much.
Bye-bye.